Hello and welcome to Two Grumpy 20-something.
Both in our 20s. Just throw that in there, you know. Doesn't really matter what end of the scale it is, both in 20s.
Well, in our 20s is what counts.
I like that, yeah. I think it's always a good thing, isn't it? When someone says, how old are you?
Yeah.
I think you're a lot like me, aren't you? You go, I'm in my 20s, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Still,
If they want to be quite specific, late 20s.
I won't even do that.
No.
What I'll do is I'll go 20. And then they'll be like,
20, yeah.
yeah, but like, what was that, sorry? I'm 29! Alright, God, just...
Well, that's recorded now. Just in our 20s, just leave it at that.
Digital evidence.
Yeah, just in our 20s.
Alright, okay.
Well, with myself, Michael Langerbeer.
And me, Forbes London.
Oh dear, all we're doing now is a little podcast of just bring discussion about what we do in modern life, really.
Yeah, well, basically, I work in retail. You know, I'm a bit of a retail beast, I think they call it. Been doing it for about 10, 12 years now. Who's counting? Me. But, it's, pays the bills. I see a lot of things working in retail, which is why, really, I wanted to get together with you, Mike, and bring some ideas together for the podcast, because I don't think there's anything quite as sobering in life as being... somebody who's unskilled, that's seen as unskilled, retail, unskilled, don't have to go to university for that, don't have to go to college, don't necessarily need qualifications, but, it's quite crazy what you see on a day-to-day basis. That's my standpoint.
Okay, so what are we talking about today then, Forbes?
Do you know what? I really quite fancy covering social fads. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Well, is it Pokemon Go, Bonnie?
Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go. So let's have a little talk about Pokemon Go.
If you remember, we did write an episode, I guess, before about social fad, whatever it was at the time. Literally, I can't remember because it's just a pass and go. People get really into it, and all of a sudden it just disappears. Disappears so much, I can't remember what we was talking about back then.
Probably the National Lottery. 1995.
Perhaps.
No, it wasn't that far back. It wasn't. That would have been on cassette, if anything. But, the Pokemon Go, it just came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you see people who you wouldn't necessarily expect playing it, don't you? We see kids, which is, I understand, Nintendo's very child-friendly as a company. But adults, 30s, 40-year-olds, are going around holding their phones up.
It's bringing everybody together.
Catching little monsters. Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally, the minute I heard about it, people was already playing it.
Yeah.
He was already into it. It was already becoming so fastly famous. I only just heard about it. It's strange. It's not something that built up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's coming out soon. No, that's already out. People's playing it. Look outside by the church.
It was like Shaun of the Dead, wasn't it? It was like Shaun of the Dead. You could have had this town's turned into a ghost town, and you could have had people just congregating in like one area. Oh, I've got to go to the church today. Oh, you're religious? No. There's going to be like a Raichu going to be here. I don't know if that's still a Pokemon. I think it was back in the day. That rare one.
Yeah,
who knows?
Right. Yeah.
It seems to be the Bat one. The Bat one seems to be one in Plymouth, which is where we're based. Seems to be not Plymouth like Massachusetts, Plymouth UK for anybody in doubt there, geography. But it seems to be the Bat one. I don't know what he's got. Call him Batman for the sake of for this podcast. But he's the Batman, right? So the Batman seems to be the one that is common to Plymouth. People are travelling, walking around, trying to find presumably different ones. I don't know whether Pikachu is thrown in the mix.
I suppose being quite a famous Pikachu would be quite hard to find, I guess.
Well, it works one of two ways, doesn't it, really? Because you sometimes would give the most famous one to people straight away. I think Pikachu was featured on the box of at least one of the old Game Boy ones, wasn't he? Yellow Game Boy.
Even
original
on the N64.
Indeed, yeah. Pokemon Stadium ones, yeah. That's going. I mean, that's the extent of my Pokemon knowledge right there.
That was mine as well.
Yeah, that's the two I
really enjoy Stadium. The Reds and Blues on the DS, I suppose, was pretty good.
Yeah.
Is this grip to you? This Pokemon Go?
Is it what?
Is it grip to you? Is it?
I haven't actually downloaded it.
No?
And it's strange, isn't it? You'd expect me with a very avid gaming background to download it, be enjoying it, being one of these people out and about getting fresh air. There's a couple of points that I want to raise with that.
Okay.
One, I don't really do mobile gaming because I'm always paranoid about my battery life.
I don't do mobile gaming.
You know, I think it was instilled in me from a child with my parents when I got my first mobile phone. Always make sure it's on and it's charged. Yeah, and it's ever through.
Apparently, it is a battery drainer.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You know, but being you know in the northern part of my 20s now, that it still sits with me that I think I might need my battery charge just in case I get stuck somewhere. And I think, oh Christ, it's okay. I can ring the RAC, I can ring the AA, or I can ring somebody to come pick me up. So, oh no, I've drained my battery because of Pokemon Go. What did I do that for?
But at least you got Raichu now.
Absolutely. I've got 10 Batmen as well. I'm all right. I'm okay. You know. Actually, no, it'd be better Pokemon, wouldn't it? Because I ventured so far out that obviously I'd need SOS. You know. I mean, but that's not a problem because I'm with EE and you hardly get any signal anywhere outside Plymouth. But yeah, but I haven't downloaded it. What about yourself? Have you downloaded it? Have you?
No. I was a little bit tempted just to see what the fuss was about.
But just for research purposes.
You know what I'm like about things that becomes very popular. Everybody's talk about it. I like to drift off and like my own thing.
So will you be a late adopter, do you reckon?
Maybe when it fades away, I might I might go on a bit of Pokemon.
You have the service yourself by then, won't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
so you'd be like, well, that's it. I'm the king of the castle. I'm the best.
I've got all my life to do this.
Yeah.
So I'm in no rush. I don't have to try to fight over little monsters. So I could just do it in my own time. If I wanted to, I might not even do it at all.
I mean, you've had your fair share of monsters come at you in the past anyway, haven't you?
That's it.
Destiny's nightclub, Heroes, plenty of places like that.
But I think it's a good thing. Obviously, for Nintendo themselves, the business that they share it with, money goes to, Apple and Google as well. They're getting their fair share.
But did you read that Apple and Google get a higher share of the percentage than Nintendo do?
Really?
Apparently, it's added 7 billion yen, I presume. I wouldn't expect it to be dollar bill.
Well, I know that in the past week it's jumped up to 86%.
86%?
Yeah, which is roughly about 15 billion.
Yen or dollar? Dollar?
Yeah.
Christ, that is...
But this is only gone what I've been reading lately.
That is high. I mean, I read that Nintendo had only actually made physical real-world money about $35 million in the USA from it, which seems quite a paltry amount, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Not saying
this is Nintendo share. It's not precisely Pokemon Go. People's just diving straight into Nintendo, which I'm guessing it brings it back up top again.
Yeah.
You think they're not bringing out as much stuff anymore. The Wii U wasn't exactly a great hit.
Yeah, that's why they're releasing a Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah. So it's good to see them come back on top. It's good to see a childhood's console come back again.
The underdog. Seeing the underdog sort of return again. Yeah. It's funny you should mention about that about share prices. Now, I was sort of digging through a couple of forums the other day while I was doing a little bit of research for the podcast. Being that we're both not Pokemon Go players, I saw a comment which someone had put, a flippant comment, that someone had put about, God, I wish I'd gone back to, 1999 and pumped a load of money into shares for Nintendo. It was either 1999 or 2009, one of the two, and they were like, I'll be quid in by now. The dips and then the rise again, putting shares in. And then someone put a comment under there saying, so you go back in time and put shares into Nintendo, but, you wouldn't go back in time and stop the various bombings that have been happening.
Does this person think you have a time machine?
I don't know. This is it. It's almost like variables, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a variable. And I love it when people digress from the comment as well. Why wouldn't you go back and stop all the bombs? Why wouldn't you go and sort famine and plague?
Why don't you go back in time and stop it? I haven't got the time machine. It's just a figure of speech.
Because
he's saying I would go back in time if I could. That's
what I would do.
That'll help my life at least.
And not literally for a selfish point of view. It's just for the sake of the comment, for continuity of the thread. But other people are like, well, it's out of order. You should be helping other people first. It wouldn't be half as funny, mate. It wouldn't be half as funny if my comment had turned around and said, I'll tell you what, I would like to go back in time 10 years.
Especially if you're talking about Nintendo Pokemon Go.
Everybody's
talking about it. I'll go back in time to stop famine.
Yeah.
What's that to do with anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know whether you're going to get, I don't know whether it's thumbs up or star or whatever from loads of people say, yeah, that man, brilliant, well done, that man. He should be the Nobel Peace Prize winner. He's not selfish. He's not the sort of person that's going to lead the comment and say that he just wants to go back and buy shares in Nintendo. Brilliant. Good man. I hasten to add it wasn't me that put this comment. I'm a forum lurker. I'm a forum lurker. I'm what's called a passive forum voyeur. I like to, just sit back, watch what's going on. But I'm not one of these wankers that will put a comment saying, I'm just here for the comments with the picture of Michael Jackson
with the popcorn, of course.
With the popcorn. Every time you're like, oh, this guy's a comedy genius. Look at him. But on a negative point of view with things like Pokemon Go, it's had a lot of plus sides, but have you noticed a lot of the negative comments that have been coming out about it?
I have, yes.
I mean, I noticed one this morning, again, lurking around on the Plymouth Evening Herald's website. Always an interesting read. I find the calibre of readers on there is, really summarises Plymouth very, 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 very nicely.
It's not just Plymouth. I've always seen comments on the Herald, and I'm like, oh, where's this person from? Someone said, what?
Yeah.
Why are you getting involved?
Yeah.
What's your
chirping up there, aren't you? Sit the fuck back down again, alright? For the love of God. But, there was a couple of comments, people saying, oh, I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant that, this game has brought people together, communities. I'd like to add that Plymouth now, from what I've read this morning, a couple of days ago, had the second biggest community for Pokemon Go players.
I've read that, so, yeah.
Now it's got the biggest. Today is the biggest.
Wow.
So they have the biggest one. I think we know a couple of the guys that organise the events, don't we? Yeah. And basically there was comments on the Evening Herald website. There were people saying this is brilliant, it's great that people are getting out there, they're enjoying it. There's always one though that will turn around and say, get a life. And you've come here to put that comment there. Yeah. You've had to take time out your day to put the comment there. If you don't like it,
such a busy life, he has to
move along. Move along. And the thing I thought about this, I thought that's like me going to the Theatre Royal, knowing full well that I'm not really into plays and theatre, right? Go and see, I don't know, Of Mice and Men or something like that, and then standing up halfway. This is rubbish. I hate this. You paid for the ticket to be here. If you didn't like it, you didn't have to come in, did you?
It's like sitting in the crowd and saying, "You sad bastards, get a job." Well, it is a job, but
yeah,
it's why would you pay a ticket to go say that to somebody? If you don't like it, don't get involved. Stay out of it.
You can just move along, and if you're a highly mature adult who obviously has a life, the beautiful woman on their arm, sports car in the drive, holiday 3 times a year, glitterati lifestyle, then what are you doing reading the Evening Herald website for a start? Give them the choice. I think I'd probably be reading the Independent or something like that, if I was in money. I'm not. So Evening Herald it is. Same boat. Grab the paddle. I'm not into Pokemon Go, but I'm willing to let go.
Well, I feel that the Pokemon fans shouldn't take it so. Shouldn't take it so lightly. They shouldn't get so upset about people saying "get a life" and all that. If that's their life, if that's what they enjoy, they got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
They don't have to be so defensive. They can just carry on doing it. If they want to, say, "Oh, you sad bastards, get a life," we will after Pokemon. So you carry on with yours, we'll carry on with ours.
That's it.
I mean, I'm not a fan of this. I think it's a good idea. I think it's an amazing idea. It's getting people out there. I mean, looking down the barrel of their phone all the time, but at least they're out. They're outside. It's a start.
I mean, it's nothing more ridiculous than something like, I don't know, let's take Snapchat. Now, Snapchat's never sat well with me at all. I've got it, I've downloaded it, and I will, again, being the social voyeur I am, will have a look and see what people are doing.
Yeah.
I rarely ever post on it myself. There's a reason for that. One, I don't feel my life's interesting enough really to just keep putting a photo of my face up all the time. People know what I look like. Two, there's a certain air of I would be embarrassed holding up my phone, smiling into the screen, while something's going on in the background of me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this. Hey, car accident. Hey, there we go. Have a little smile, cheeky. That's it. 10 seconds. Yeah, that's it. So I can get everything in the picture, not just my face, but it's in there anyway. So I don't really understand it. It's embarrassing for me, and that's another reason why I don't feel that I could engage in playing Pokemon Go, because we know how, socially awkward I am. I don't really like being around other people as is anyway.
I feel the same, even with when it comes to gaming. I prefer my campaign. I rarely go on live to play with others. If I do, it's for a good game. It's something I'm enjoying.
Yeah.
For instance, like Call of Duty or something like that. But I prefer the campaign. I prefer just doing it myself.
No, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you.
I mean, we never did this when we had the Mega Drive.
No.
Never online.
No. That's it. You'd have the two controllers.
Exactly. That's the
good
most
controller.
You can play with someone. The two controllers.
Yeah, the good controller. The controller that wasn't so good, but that was
always mine.
That's always fair too. But you did good with what you had.
Oh yeah.
Any time that you'd ever beat me, I would sometimes suspect that you changed the controller around. But
which we nicknamed Cumpad.
Cumpad, yeah, because that's that ominous stain it had in the corner.
Weird stain.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't question it too much. I had to hold it at the end of the day.
I would like to add that I bought that controller second hand. I didn't own it from you, so I wouldn't know how the stain got there.
So he says.
Wow. It's out for legend and speculation, isn't it?
Young teen. Won't blame you.
What, getting turned on by a Mega Drive controller?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be some pure super glue ejaculate to stick on that controller, though, wouldn't it? Can you imagine
I didn't
that?
attempt to scrape it off just in case it was what I thought it was.
Really?
I just left it.
Take it off to the lab for analysis, did you? Like, oh, it definitely is. Definitely. But funny thing is, it's not his. Could have been Kirk's.
Not just him, isn't it?
Wow. Party in the pool. So yeah, where were we getting at? I mean, were you aware that Nintendo had already moved into the mobile market? Did you ever download Miitomo, for example, their previous effort?
No, I've read about it. I didn't look into it that much.
Because one of your daughters was quite interested in Tomodachi Life, wasn't she,
yeah.
for the 3DS? Which obviously Miitomo is the cut-down version of Tomodachi Life.
Yeah.
So if you want to save yourself some dollar there, you might want to look into that. Cheapskate. But
how do you feel about I'll do the air quotes now, and obviously they can't see it. True fans, where they're mocking the younger generation for liking it. They're like, oh, we've been liking Pokemon for ages. While they're just liking it, it's new. Why not?
is that a thing?
Yes,
People have been doing that now.
I've been seeing it. Yes,
Right. Okay. So what the people that have played Pokemon
basically all their lives.
all their lives? It's a
late-
long time.
Late
innit?
20s,
Yeah. Well,
early 30s,
it's
and
at least 20 years.
saying that they're the true fans. I mean, you get it with everything. We've been liking this for ages, and they kind of get a bit aggressive at younger people are sort of liking it. Why are you liking it? It's just brand new. Why not? I'm into it.
Have you seen it's funny you should talk about that sort of snobbery. The only time I ever really see that is with music.
Yes,
For
music as
example,
well.
a band that hasn't made it quite yet. I'm going to use a band. I'm going to go with brand new. A band been kicking around for many, many years. Probably basically started to make it famous with either their second or third album around 2004. And you'd have people saying, brand new, I'd love brand new before you even knew they existed, before you were even born.
Yeah, it's that kind of ignorance.
It is, yeah. I mean, enjoy the fact that these people are getting exposure now. This product.
If younger people are liking it, if lots more people are liking it, they'll do more stuff. And then, as a fan, you'll get to listen to it longer, more.
Yeah, absolutely, because the market is there for it, and you're going to have an ever-expanding market with things. It's the same with all sorts of things. I have, you'd have it with vinyl records as well. Old hands that have been collecting records since the early 80s, 70s, whatever. And then, I rock up wanting to buy contemporary vinyl from, a few years back. And back how long have you been collecting vinyl, young man? You're like, well, since last Thursday, actually. I'm like, well, I've been collecting it I don't give a shit what you've been collecting for 30 years, alright? I've come in here to buy some vinyl, not to be judged. Leave me alone, okay? And I suppose if that's the same with Pokemon Go players, I can imagine probably a lot of the old hands, so to speak, are probably looking at the fact that Nintendo maybe have sold out to the mobile market. Is that possibly where it is? Or
Yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. But at the end of the day, if it's bringing them in money and Nintendo gets to live a little bit longer, I'm up for that.
Yeah, no, I'm quite. But live and let live, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me, and it doesn't really affect me in the grand scheme of anything. It makes no difference to me whether Nintendo survive or die. However, I would rather see them still on the market, doing what they do, and perhaps not doing a Sega on the situation and disappearing off into just making software.
Yes.
That would be quite irritating. Bitter pill still after all these years, but whatever. That's a band-aid that eventually has to be ripped off. Yeah, okay, right. So we've covered the trolls. We've covered the old hands. We've covered really the social gaming platform in general, whilst narrowly avoiding things like Candy Crush Saga, which a lot of old people seem to play, but then we'll turn around and say, "What's a Pokémon's?"
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, but you're bloody making food disappear. You're playing with edibles.
Speaking of food of Pokemon, I'm expecting a Pokemon Happy Meal soon. I swear it's going to happen.
It's definitely happening.
Is it?
That is why the game's been held up in Japan, my man.
Ah,
yeah, because those crazy Japanese, I'm
expecting everything. The T-shirts. I'm expecting Happy Meals. All the toys have come back into stock.
Well, that's what happened with GameStop. They're in America. Their merchandise sales went up by 100%.
Wow.
So that's one thing per.
They'll really throw this Pokemon in your face until people stop playing it, and then all the merchandise just drift away.
Yeah.
Again.
Do you reckon that might be coming sooner rather than later? Do you think the bubble's going to burst on it?
I think they're safe this year at least.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I can't help but feel that it's built a bit up ahead of steam.
I don't. I think unless something really good comes out, something that will top this Pokemon Go, it'll keep on going for the rest of the year.
Yeah. That's a bold statement. What have we got?
Well, if you think about all the other gaming on the mobile, I mean, nothing's been really as famous as this so far. I mean, obviously you got things like Angry Bird and that, but you can just sit at home and play that.
Yeah,
you can play it on any console.
Most people have an Angry Bird at home. That's, no comment on that one, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, it's overtaken things like Twitter. It's overtaken. What's the dating one? Swipey one.
I've no idea. I'm sorry.
Well, the one we.
Oh, the what's it? Poff.
I don't think it's that one. I think it's the other one. There's the swipey one. Local dates in your area or whatever. But it's overtaken that one. Which is a similar thing, really. Go out hunting monsters in your area. That's pretty much how it goes, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, so Pokemon Go is. I think it's a good thing. I think we both agree on that, really,
yes,
can't we?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping you were going to oppose me with that. I thought you'd be coming at me saying, "Oh,
usually
no,
this sort of stuff I would." But as a fan of Nintendo, I'm glad they're coming back.
Want to come across the hero, do you?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
And everybody's out there enjoying the weather instead of stuck at home. So
that's very true.
Like I said, looking at a phone is a start. I mean, if they look out for a sec, see those sights, see the beautiful world that's out there.
Don't they see it through the camera though? Am I right in thinking that? They see it through the augmented reality part of the camera?
Only a bit of it, it's not the whole game itself.
Well, I like to think that if I go on Google Street View to America, Australia, Argentina, don't know why Argentina's there, it just popped into my head actually. And go on Street View. I find that I've been on holiday then, because I can have a look around.
This is what I do every night.
Yeah.
I have a quick look around the world.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I even look around Plymouth, I think, wow, it was a lovely day.
Yeah.
It's still sunny. It's actually night time, but on Google Maps it's sunny. It's a lovely day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't see people's faces because they're jammed into their phones. Hold them up in the air. Yeah. Don't look at me. Yeah. No.
So thumbs up for Pokemon Go then?
I think it's certainly a thumbs up from me. It hasn't caused me any drama or trauma. I will tell you
about the injuries that it's causing though.
The injuries, yeah.
Now, this always gets me with things.
Okay.
They've always got to point out it's Pokemon Go is doing it. It's not. If it wasn't for Pokemon Go, these people would still get injured. They'll still have accidents every day. Okay, it's not. Okay, they're looking at the film while crossing the street. Not really a good idea. It's stupidity. It's not the game. It's their stupidity.
It is. It is. I think every time I read a story like that, it always seems to brim down to someone who's looking to sue, doesn't it?
Yes.
You know, do you remember the adverts? Every time, the one that always plays in my head is the advert, obviously played in the UK some years back, was the woman walking through the, walking through the main sort of foyer of a building, and then she fell over. Contents of her handbag,
and
lipsticks come out.
Comes
that's it.
Oh, that's
it. The lipstick falls out. The bloody mascara, the dildo, the tampon, all falls out, doesn't it? You know. And she's like, oh bloody hell! Put it back in my bag. Put it back in my bag. And then it's like I was walking through to work, and there wasn't a slippery floor sign. I fell over and sued out of embarrassment. You know. I got £10,000.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks to this company, they ruined another company just because of it. Just because I was so stupid, I couldn't even stay on my feet.
Absolutely. And, you know, what she didn't realise is that in the handbook it says you've got to make sure you wear appropriate footwear.
She didn't look that injured. Was it a twisted ankle?
Oh, exactly it.
She seemed okay.
It was definitely a dildo. It was a dildo.
Get to work, it's already gone past 9.
Things rolling out of her bag, you know. There was obviously, one of her co-workers she fancied that saw it. Christ, I can't match that.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, let's get that back
Extra
in the bag.
large, son.
Crikey. And then you've got the other ones with Johnny Allen from EastEnders, haven't you? We are injury lawyers. You're not an injury lawyer, you're an actor.
Yeah, why is it getting all gangster now?
Why is he in it?
It's meant to be lawyers.
Why is he there? What's he got to do with it? What's he sticking his nose in for? You know? Christ, I never quite understood that. Did he go into being a lawyer after being an actor? I don't know what his real name is. We'll just go with Johnny Allen. Google it if you don't know who Johnny Allen is. You'll recognise him. But oh yeah, that's the lawyer. Yeah, he's not. He's an actor. He's not actually a lawyer. Don't ring injury lawyers for you expecting Johnny Allen to be there because he won't be there.
Speak to Johnny Allen, please.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I can't even think the last time he was in EastEnders. It must have been 12 years ago.
Did he die off?
God knows.
He must have.
I stopped watching it when Dirty Den left.
I must admit, I'm not a fan anymore. It used to be something I watched purely for the Mitchell brothers.
Mitchell brothers?
Yeah, they used to just, Pink Ham and Tufty.
He did have a little pink face, didn't he?
Really pink face. And I loved it when he drank loads of alcohol and he'd just go on a rampage.
Yeah. Just go mental, wouldn't he?
So you're only drunk.
Yeah. Because that happens in real life, doesn't it? Yeah. Christ.
But I only used to watch it for that entertainment. Obviously, I've moved on since then.
Well, you're on now Coronation Street, yeah? Hollyoaks. Hollyoaks is one, isn't it? That's the one that 20-somethings watch, isn't it? Hollyoaks.
Yeah.
People go on and watch that.
I used to, thingy over that quite often. I don't know if we can say this.
What, fall asleep while watching it?
Yeah, sure, fall asleep. Yeah.
Okay.
I was knackered.
Yeah, I should imagine you probably were. Getting all sting on it. Yeah. So, there is that.
Well, at least we've covered Pokemon Go. That's a thumbs up.
What are we going to be looking at in the next episode, do you reckon?
I don't know. I mean, everybody's talking about the weather.
The weather?
Yeah.
But then the weather always comes up. The weather's something you talk about when you've got nothing else to talk about. I feel that maybe we should save that for Series 2. When we've run out of things to talk about, we'll talk about the weather.
It might be really bad weather then.
Well, it makes no difference. You still talk about it.
But it might be constant bad weather. We can't say, it's every nice weather. It's just, it's going to be a very short conversation.
You don't have
It's weather like raining. Right, move on.
Well, then you come up with some funny anecdote. You've got to pray that it... Not pray, but you've got to, think, if it floods, then you at least have some funny stories. If it's just spitting for the rest of the year, no one likes talking about spitting, do they?
No.
No one likes talking about spitting at all. Not even in any context I can think of, actually. So, yeah, next episode... I suppose we'll have to leave it to the element of surprise, whatever piques our interest at the time.
Well, we can talk about anything. We can talk about films, latest films that's coming out. I'll see Suicide Squad's coming out. You like that one, don't you?
Suicide Squad. Anyone that's followed my Twitter will see my ominous comment that I've left on that. Yeah, for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be as good as Deadpool.
Don't even talk to me about Deadpool, because that was a massive fad, wasn't it? For a long time. People went mental over Deadpool.
I used to like the Deadpool comics. I was a big fan of them. But seeing Ryan Reynolds star as himself, dressed as Deadpool, is not really that good.
I must admit, when they...
I mean, I'm not judging his acting abilities, but that's all he can play, is himself. That's all I see when I see him on TV. It's Ryan Reynolds. He's playing. He's not playing anybody, he's playing Ryan Reynolds.
I thought it was Green Lantern 2 when they announced it.
Gone for the red suit instead of the green.
Brilliant, love it, It's got to be kryptonite that's messed this up, of course. Oh dear. So yeah, well, that's basically concluded episode 1. Yeah, I mean, we'll get more into the swing of things, sort of moving forward through the episodes. I think we'll probably get maybe 6 episodes out of this first series.
We'll try.
Yeah, quite easily. And you can, as a listener, maybe follow us on our Facebook page, which is MIC Films Entertainments, at MIC Films Limited, if you fancy it. Maybe give some suggestions of what you'd like to hear covered.
Yeah, we'll put up a link for the YouTube that we're hopefully going to set up soon. This.
Yeah, so hopefully we can go into the audio side of things and the visual side of things as well. See our faces, see how we react to things. I'm not reading off a script.
No,
promise.
Of course
No,
not. Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, that basically covers it. I feel that we were very understated our grumpiness this episode.
Yeah, we didn't sound so grumpy.
No, I'd like to think that next week we could perhaps get a little more grumpy with the things we're going to cover.
We'll talk about Deadpool more.
Yes, absolutely. And Suicide Squad. Right, okay, in which case we'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Bye.